Just can't take you anywhere, Tyler. But it's another episode of the RSL Random Fan Podcast, right in the middle of RSL Random Fan Shark Week.
Rawr.
Right, because everyone loves sharks, right, Brennan?
I hate them.
So I thought it'd be funny. Have Shark Week.
Yep.
So that's why Shark Week is on our Instagram. Follow along. See who has the best shark. I don't know. There's just some really... Once you start looking at something, it just keeps popping up.
Yeah, that's true. Darn cookies.
We'll be filthy with shark videos for a week. But anyway, two games to talk about this week. I'm your host, Brant Goebel, joined by...
Tyler.
And...
Brennanmuninja.
And do us a favor when you're listening.
Send us some money. Oh, I mean, yeah.
Subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Venmo at... No.
Tell your mother. Tell your mother about us.
Say hello to your mother for me.
Yeah, say hello to your mother.
No, push that subscribe button. Follow us on all the social medias and help us out. We'd appreciate it. So 2 games to talk about. RSL went into L.A. and...
Midweek.
The football club of L.A.
The Los Angeles Football Club.
Let's dive into
The Posers.
Yeah, the Posers.
Well, they're not the Galaxy that have won a bunch of titles and stuff, right? They're the new kids on the block.
Mm-hmm. They wear black and
They're
stuff.
the NKOTB. They only go by their initials, right?
Jeez. So yeah, starting lineup, which I was surprised McMath got to start. And then we had Quinton at right back.
Nah, he was in the middle.
Yeah, he was in the middle.
Did I goof that up?
That's all right. Hidalgo was on the right.
Hidalgo on the right, Quinton and Vera, and then Catranis, Ojeda, and Palacio with the start. Shane Crooks and Luna, and Julio up top because there was a couple players that could not join us for the game, one of them being Chicho and the other being Gomez.
Gomez had yellow card accumulation, which was super silly, but whatever.
And we kind of talked about the Chicho stuff. Have we talked about Chicho? I think
yes, we did. Breaking news. Breaking news.
Chicho did something bad.
We still don't know what it is.
It was so bad, they're just going to let it slide.
Yeah, it must be bad.
Must have said something, I mean,
He must have told somebody's mother.
You know? Might have pulled out their grandma after, 4-game ban. That's
no, not the abuela.
Great grandma.
I saw someone suggesting maybe he made a comment about during the Colombia-Venezuela game, the Copa America final. We have nothing confirmed. They have said nothing, so we're just speculating.
Colombia, Venezuela, or Colombia, Argentina?
Argentina.
Okay, there we go.
Maybe it was because of the Venezuela. He was really mad. I don't know. But the Colombia...
I don't think Venezuela
Colombia-Argentina final.
And it was a game. And apparently everybody's angry, which I get. Argentina was mad when Chile beat them a couple years ago, and... Since then, Argentina's kind of ruled the world and South America.
And considering that they haven't come out and said anything and there hasn't been anything on the games, I think maybe it's something along those lines, but off the field, that needs to be addressed and is being addressed. And hopefully it's taken care of. And inquiring minds want to know, and I guess we'll have to figure it out later.
And we keep asking.
Or we'll never know.
Yeah, but we'll keep asking.
Yeah, we'll keep asking. We'll knock on that door.
In a couple of years, we'll find out.
Oh, yeah. Hey, teacher, remember that time? Remember that time you got suspended for 4 games?
Yeah.
Well, what was that about?
I don't know.
Does he speak English?
Yeah.
He does?
Some decent,
but it's not like fluent. Okay.
No, he's not. He doesn't like taking post game in English or whatever. But
yeah, I've
heard him answer questions in English.
You have?
And he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's better. But I would say he's as good as I am in Spanish. Okay. But he's just not as confident with it, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs some of your confidence, Tyler.
I know. I got confidence in abundance. I don't have hair in abundance, but I have confidence in abundance.
So is anybody on RSL seemingly lacking confidence? We watched the LAFC game.
Zach.
Things were going well, and then they weren't. What are your thoughts on the...
I feel so bad for Zach. Like, he's worked so hard, and he has earned his spot, and he's had... he's done good work for us. And then, you get this like little ball over the top and it's just in this middle space, and I don't know what he did. He just like looked up at the wrong second, mistimed it. Like, man, just be decisive,
I think he thought
he tried to possess the ball.
Yeah, I think he thought it was going to come into the box so he could grab it. And then it kind of held up, and then
but be prepared for that.
But I think with the
you have two moves. Your move is pass it and trap it and pass it, or clear it. And then he panicked at the wrong second. It's like a few games ago where the ball was coming in right at him and he just dropped it in. No, he would have been better just getting out of the way. And in this case, he would have been better just staying back.
I don't think the sweeper keeper idea is really jiving with him. I don't like what Pablo's asking of him this season. This is like his third or fourth time where it's like this, where he's getting caught out. I mean, he almost got caught out again on the second one.
Yeah.
But you can tell he doesn't have that style in him. Like, that's not his comfort. That's not where he's going to excel.
But he also played it way better when Glad was in and Vera was in. And I don't know if that plays a part of it. He knows where they're going to be. He knows what's going on. He knows when they're not going to require anything of him. I don't know. But you got to have confidence, even if it's fake confidence. Even if it's just boot the ball out because you were slightly unsure. We can't just give away goals like that.
It was a brain fart.
Too impactful. We could have won this game. We played so well throughout.
I've thought about this, and I think when you have two half-decent keepers, you pretty much have none, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You've got the young Beavers who...
Just like a kid, right? If you have a kid that's like a little rambunctious kid, and you put another little rambunctious kid with him, you don't have a kid anymore. You have half a kid, even though there's two kids there, right?
Because
you know what I'm
saying? You get two boys together, and they're going to be even dumber.
Yeah, they antagonize each other. They laugh at each other's dumb jokes. They, here, smell my finger. That kind of stuff, right?
Goad them into doing really dumb things.
Dude, jump off that, right? Like, stuff like that, right?
I bet you can't do that. But yes, I can.
Right? So you get half a kid in the end, right?
So that's where we're at with the keeper. We've got one young kid has tons of potential, but still...
Mistake prone a little bit.
A little bit.
With his feet.
But, he's young, so he gets the benefit of the doubt. And then you have Zach McMath, who has a lot of experience, and I think maybe he's feeling the pressure of he wants to be a starter. And here he is again in another situation where the starting position is up for grabs.
Shark Week just comes and bites him right in the...
It's kind of like a cat.
That's why you don't swim in open water, ladies and gentlemen.
You don't swim in any water.
You don't swim in any salt water.
Yeah, you know how you can tell if there's a shark in there, right? If you taste the water and there's some salt in it, yeah, there's a shark.
Yeah.
I saw that. That's the expert.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think that works on the Great Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Oh, there's sharks in there. Salt water.
I don't think so.
No.
No. I was scouring the bottom the other day.
Still not going in. So LAFC, we go in there and we go down 1-0. I thought, man, this is going to be tough.
And their uniforms. I mean, come on.
No, those beautiful uniforms. I don't care what you say. I do not care what you say. The way they found that perfect shade of cream to match the three different shades of brown, like that caramel, a little bit lighter caramel, and the dark brown. Like, that is a classy, you would see that on That 70s Show or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's so
retro,
good.
Retro.
I love it.
Okay, so you like it because it was retro?
I do, and it's not too overpowering. I like that the bold stripe is across the chest. It's more cream-based, and it's got the nice brown trim around. I mean, it's a classy jersey that I wish more clubs were able to get, besides all the the ones that have all the money and the nepotism and all that stuff.
The ones that haven't been around to have a classic kit.
Yeah,
long enough.
Miami,
I mean, come on. They've been around 5-6 years, and they get a retro. Hey, Colorado, look at LAFC's classic kick that looks like yours.
So who would be the Metro Stars?
It would be
if they
Red Bull.
Red Bull would be the Metro Stars.
Red Bull are the Metro Stars. They get their back. They're past.
Oh, they're past.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, that'd be so sweet. Just have a retro, old school
Metro Stars type jersey.
Yeah. And then now we're watching the 16th minute, almost getting McMath.
Great play by McMath to get back.
Yeah, great play, but I mean, uneasy. Bogusz is so good, dude. Bogusz has got eyes up the field every single second of the game.
I like Bogusz.
He's a $5 million player for sure.
Is that what they paid for him?
I can't remember. I thought it was pretty high.
Pretty close to that.
Yeah, he's really coming along.
But how old is he? He's like,
I don't know.
is he in his 20s still?
24.
Very mature for his age.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
But all in all, let's talk about the game. It ended up being a 1-1 draw. And I think that this was the best performance from Real Salt Lake as a team all season.
Wrong.
No, I 100% believe that.
So let's put it in a different perspective, though, first. Okay? So now, how have we conducted ourselves against LAFC this season and most of last season? We've pretty much locked them down.
Defensively.
Defensively. We have gone to them every single time, and it's been a low-scoring game, or we've come out and got the upper hand. We are a fantastic team against this team. I don't know what Pablo's doing that's making it so successful, but this is the norm for us.
He's definitely turned the tide. They used to own us.
They did. And
They
then
owned us big time.
But now, without any real threat, because, I mean, okay, Ojeda in this game, by far, the best player on the field. Worked his butt off.
Yeah.
But we have their number. Like, we have it in us to not be afraid of them anymore. I mean, we did have that 4-0 loss a little bit ago, but
I really think that's the difference, and you hit the nail on the head. Your center defensive midfield can own the game, and ours can now. And that's the biggest switch with LAFC in the past is their center defensive mid used to own us.
Well, Tillman went out with an injury, too.
Right, but I would say Tillman's the secondary part of that.
kind of like a Palacio kind of a deal.
Yeah, he's the second piece in it, and Ojeda's the driver on our side.
Yeah.
Ojeda is owning the midfield for us right now, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons we're playing so well in this game.
I agree. And then also I like the positioning. Well, Luna didn't really get that much of a presence through the middle. I mean, I want him more through the middle. Like, I want him in Crooks' position, actually. But how do you guys feel about Crooks? Did you feel that he was jiving with the upper third?
I think so. I think Crooks has this, like, consistent...
I feel like he's compounding information. Yeah. He's getting slowly just building himself up and up.
Yeah, and the cool part about him is he'll slide over to the left, he'll swing over to the right, he'll swoop in from the side. He just kind of is always moving. He's that guy on the team that never stops moving, and he's always open. Mm-hmm. Like, have you ever played with a guy like that?
Yeah. I
played on a team one time where this guy was always open. He was always an easy pass. So I would get in trouble or something at the back line. He'd be like, here. And I didn't even need to look. Once I heard his voice, boom, I just send it towards him. Because he would only say that when he was open. And I think Crooks is kind of that guy. He's the outlet pass. He's the I'm always open. I'm always moving. Not always fast, but he doesn't have to be in that spot, to be open. You don't always have to be moving. But I think he fills that role, and that takes the pressure off all the creative people around him to be able to move into place. I think we have what we need to really succeed, which we'll talk about here more in a minute.
I think with Crooks, I think we could use
you did
couple
so
more
well
players.
Holding back. You're doing so good. Is that how you do the like teaser? you still like kind of, like I said, I know something that we're gonna talk about, but it wasn't like obvious stuff. Okay. You know what I mean?
Okay,
like that was good. That was good.
A little more subtle.
I think RSL needs a couple other players that can understand how to play with Crooks. Or the team still needs to figure out what's the best way to jive with him, because I think I like him, and I think he's a valuable player to have on your team. Before all the things that Tyler said, he does work. He is relentless in his work ethic, and he's always moving around. But I think there are just some times that players for RSL aren't as sophisticated is probably not the word to use, but I think he sees a couple of steps ahead of players. Mm-hmm. Players see just their direct pass, here. Crooks is seeing 2 or 3 passes
so
ahead.
he's looking at different levels to like outlets, and like he's a little bit playing chess while everybody's doing the single move checkers.
Yeah, and I don't even know if it's that big of a spread. I think they're getting closer, but I do think that he is that kind of player. And maybe you bring in another player that kind of sees the game the same way he does and isn't trying to – I think Luna and him could be great pairing, but I think oftentimes they're trying to occupy the same space, and they instead of working together, they just kind of –
So you want more imagination
Little bit, and at the same time, I'll admit that it may not work with Crooks, right? But I also think that
He admitted it.
I think he
may
still
not
needs a
work.
lot of time.
Well, I think if somebody has that ability to look for that next dimension instead of just being one-dimensional, that's going to be somebody that has to be intuitive just like him. So it's going to create a lot of time for that to open up. So like practice, yes, is one situation, but when you get into a game, you tend to revert back to a little bit more of the basic mindset, and your creativity gets halted a little bit unless you start to feel what that other player is going to be doing. So like I always, like when I was the, center attacking mid for my team back in the day, I had a guy up front that I always loved to do a lob pass when he was doing a run through the back line, and I never looked, which was another cool thing. And I just lobbed it over the center back, and he would just run for it, and then I would be an outlet, and I would hit it at the top of the 18. But that was like, I didn't like that kid for like a long time because he made all these dumb runs. And I was like, dude, I can't physically get you this ball because you run right behind somebody. And he's like, well, just hit it over his head. And I was like,
every time.
I was like, you really can do? You wanted me to do that? He's like, yeah. And so then
okay.
that was like how we clicked. I was like, oh, okay, I need to not just be like one-dimensional with what I can do. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Crooks is more of that lull them to sleep, more of the Spain from years ago with the ticky-tacky, like let's pass the ball back and forth, and then all of a sudden, boom, somebody's going to make a run over the top, right? Like Miami still plays that way a little bit, right? That style of pass, and then boom, let's go for it. But, we got a couple guys on our team that just want to put their head down and run past people.
Hey, they're going to run to a lot of money, so, I mean, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, also, I've enjoyed watching RSL transform this season. In seasons past, if they're trying to pass the ball out of the back, most of the time it's getting better, and sometimes they pay the price for not being as efficient on the ball. But I'm not as worried as I used to be about them playing the ball out of the back.
Right.
They do it a little too much, probably, but at the same time, they are so much more comfortable on the ball, and I love to see that. It seems like, if they make a few roster changes, pick up a few more players, kind of like we're talking about, that maybe work with the Crooks or mesh with Luna and maybe get somebody up top with Chicho. I think the way the style, the next few years could be really amazing for this club.
Well, and what I saw out of the back line that I really liked is Quentin covered a ton of ground. He was very unselfish in his moves, in his runs, in his setups, in his spacing. He had a great game. Even one time he ran down Bawanga.
Yeah.
He ran him down and kind of bumped him and pushed him out
outside.
and made a tough shot for him. So, like those bigger, solid, him and Hidalgo pretty much shut down Bawanga, which was fantastic.
We have to say, this season, Hidalgo is a different player.
Oh, for sure.
'Cause
he's totally leveled up.
Before, I used to always joke about how, he's a homegrown, you love him, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But now it's like, okay, I like you, Hidalgo. Like, you're earning your respect.
He's kind of my
1,000%.
Aaron Herrera. I didn't like him at first, but at the end, I totally loved him.
Guess who's at the All-Star game? Aaron Herrera.
Like Justin Glad.
A lot of old Salt Lake guys on there.
Has he had a red card this season yet?
I don't know.
Herrera? Probably not. I don't think
I was going to say, if we ever sign him back, just make sure he gets his red card out of the way for the season, and then we'll sign him, and then we'll be clean sheets after that.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, I miss that guy.
And
So I want to go back to
I like it.
before Brennan disagreed, but I think one of the reasons that I think this was the best performance, not in style but as a team, because we didn't have Chicho, you didn't have Gomez, and no one is expecting these guys to. You had Chang starting. I thought Chang played well. You had Palacios starting. You had Quentin starting, and Palacios gotten better, and Quentin's been sketchy at times in the back. But I thought as a team, this was their best performance by far in the season. To hold LAFC, I thought Pablo outcoached the U.S. men's national team candidate.
Don't put that.
Candidate.
They were like,
Dolo.
should we sign him? No. Okay. That's how much of a
Oh, no.
candidate he was.
The LAFC guys were all worried. I was going back and forth on Twitter with one of them from another podcast about, we're going to lose Dolo. I was like, you're not going to lose. There's no way they're going down a step or lateral from what's his name? Berhalter to Dolo.
Oh, that's a for real thing?
Oh, yeah, they were all worried.
I mean, they really thought he was a real candidate for it, but
And he has.
U.S. soccer's so dumb. Let's just say that. We'll get that out of the way. They'll pick somebody like no
one's ever heard of. He's probably like a USL coach.
Yeah, they'll be like, this guy's the best coach.
We need an American coach.
Get
a coach that knows how to coach in in international tournaments.
And then let some of these other up-and-coming American coaches coach after that.
Well, what's the guy who coaches Canada? What's his name again?
Jesse Marsh.
Jesse Marsh. His comment about how, like, it's not just a new coach position. He needs, like, the entire office to be swapped out. And I think that's a huge indication of how terrible we are right now, is because Berhalter was the face, but he's not the inner workings of everything.
Well, and they let some of the classic U.S. players go, and some, like, Brian McBride was in there. One of the best.
The choices, like last World Cup and then all this stuff leading up to it, have been really mediocre. Like it was almost like, who was the cool kids? You know what I mean? Like you got picked for kickball. Like all the cool kids get picked first. It was kind of like that. But the dude who's a little bit slower in speech can bomb the ball super miles far away. He doesn't get picked because he doesn't like.
Well, it's kind of
it's cool.
I love the way you said that. That was fantastic.
I was gonna say it worse, but then I was like,
It's kind of like this game where the superstars and the fancy players couldn't beat the RSL B team.
But honestly, that was always my
like the
favorite
Sandlot.
game.
Yeah.
It was always my favorite thing to do. Like there was this kid we played one time, and he was talking. Oh, I'm on scholarship, dude. I'm gonna be on scholarship, and I kept telling him the whole game. Well, you're not gonna score on us. You're not gonna score on us. And then my buddy was way more creative with his words than that, and very foul mouthed. So we can't repeat any of it on the podcast. But he made up a name for him, and he called him that name the whole time. And I was like, you can't even get by this guy. How do you think you're going to get by anyone in college, man? We just sat and verbally discounted him the whole game long, and he didn't score. He didn't do anything. I think he had one shot that got past the two of us, Really? And so what I'm saying is, like,
and that player was Landon Donovan.
No way, dude. I wish. What I'm saying is, like, some people that have better skill still can't outdo certain people with that hustle.
Yeah.
If you have that dog attitude of, this guy's not getting past me no matter what, right? Then sometimes that trumps that extra bit of skill that they might have.
And there's a balance. RSL the last couple of years was all X-Dog. This year, they're much more composed, and they've got some really talented players. But that X-Dog showed up against LAFC, and we got the draw. So let's talk about the goal. That I don't know what Hugo Lloris was doing.
So Hugo Lloris is jumping up and down in front of the goal.
He short arms it.
Well, I don't think he could see the ball very well. Do you want to jump back to the goal?
Yeah.
That might be helpful. Yeah, go back there.
Technical difficulties.
We'll be right
difficulties.
After these messages.
Taylor Twellman kept talking about how he thought it was interesting that the way they lined up, right? So if you pause it right there.
So many openings, no wall, nothing. Yep. I mean, no respect.
3 guys lined up, and
they're not even really lined up, so check it out.
Well, they're not next to each other, right? But
how far back did you go?
I don't know.
Don't touch the buttons, okay? I'll touch the buttons.
But basically, Bawanga was a one-man wall, and I think Vera saw that, and he was like, "Luna, get out of the way, dude. I'm gonna smash this thing."
Yeah.
So they had a one-man wall set up.
Oh, and he's
What did you do? Don't touch the buttons.
You guys have the buttons going weird or something.
Yeah,
anyway. So what happened was Vera had one guy in front of him, and then behind him was Ilie Sanchez. And he's the guy that I think on LAFC is kind of losing a step. And I don't think they're going to really be an elite team until they replace him. But
or Giroud shows up. Olivier Giroud shows up.
I mean, they might score more goals, but they're going to lose games because of that midfield. In my opinion.
They're going to win the whole freaking...
I don't think so.
No.
Thing.
But anyway, so him, and then look who's right behind him. That guy.
Yeah.
Whatever that guy's name is that plays for that
LAFC for the LAFC team. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that guy. And so he's like, I'm just smashing it. And he does, and Sanchez sticks his, heel out, and it deflects off it just a touch.
Well, watch.
And
Where's he going?
puts it right in the corner.
Oh yeah, so he was leaning to his left.
Yeah, Larice thought he was going to
He was
the
going,
other
yeah.
side.
Yeah, and so then he was a little half step off, but
It looks like when he dies, he just kind of short arms. He can't believe it's there,
Yep.
and if he just sticks it out, he might get a hand on it. It might still go in.
No,
but
I don't think he's there at all. I think because he's short, he was jumping to the left.
and this guy has been missing. That one
Vera.
RSL fan.
Vera?
No, did you see? There's an RSL fan in the stands who.
Oh, the guy with the striped shirt on?
After
the goal celebration?
Yeah, he's missing after the game.
He was...
that was
No,
a
I'm
terrible
just kidding.
joke.
Terrible
that was
joke.
a terrible joke.
Oh, dude.
I saw it on Dateline. I don't know.
You saw that joke on Dateline?
Been listening to too many murder podcasts.
Apparently. Wow, that escalated so quick. He did look very lonely in his celebration, though, in the stands.
So my question to you guys though is, do you really think that we?
Kai Kamara deserved that yellow? Yes.
Oh, good, Kai Kamara, get out of here.
He was so slow. And
I love Kai Kamara. He would be.
I do, too.
He would be a great partner with Chicho because that guy never stops.
That would actually be amazing.
But
But do you really think that our goal coming from Vera was the reason for this game? Like, would you rely on that outcome every single time?
No, you can't rely on that.
no.
Right,
But
so I don't-
We still played well. Like, we weren't clinical in the final third, but we played very well.
Yeah.
We held the ball well. We got the ball wide. We worked it around. We made them work. Like, Luna could have probably scored a couple times. He was in the 6 shooting to the side net and then grimacing.
That has to be a meme.
Oh, this is the part right here. So this is the one where I wanted Luna to take this ball.
Yeah.
Or no, not this one.
47th minute?
No, it was in the second half.
Oh, okay.
There was another opportunity where it was Vera,
Vera
and Luna,
smashed it
and they were right on top, and Vera took it. And it was like, this is the type of ball where Luna's curling ball to that corner is going to be so much more successful. But
Yeah, stand over it and scare them, but let Luna take it.
yeah,
right?
And
still a good opportunity.
But if we look at the stats, I mean, RSL dominated possession, had 19 shots to 9 for LAFC, 3 shots on goal. They had 5. We had 7 block shots, outpassed them 510 to 416. Better passing accuracy, about the same corners, and we did get more fouls. So I thought that we had 18 and they had 12. We had 5 yellows. But
Yeah, and I think we needed to get more of this Katranas the ball out wide, cross it in at funny angles, and Crooks crash in the box. He got that deflection on it, and it just
making
went
one of his
wide.
beautiful runs that he
This
does
is
where
when
he's
he
cutting
He
inside.
does make a lot of runs.
62nd
man.
minute. This is where I wanted Luna to take that because he's set up perfectly to hit that.
Yeah,
And I mean, Vera's about the power. He's not about the finesse.
yeah.
So if we can do something low, that'd be awesome. But
But that didn't work. But we did have a lot of chances, and we did have a couple solid saves by McMath. I mean, he did stand up well and caught a couple of good crosses. I mean, those things don't really show up on the stat sheet.
no, all the work.
He did, respond well after, losing. And it seemed like they were super grabby throughout the game, didn't it?
Yeah.
I think towards the end of the game, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see a lot of drive and desire by LAFC. And we had a ton of it with Real Salt Lake. I mean, they were passing the ball all over the place. And I think if not for some key blocks and a couple of poor shots by us, we get out of there with 3 points. But as it was, I thought might have been the best point of the season.
Well, and as it was, at the end of the game, Emeka Anelli came in, and he was playing attacking mid.
Well, and
Oh, it
Justin
was
Glad
fun.
came in.
Glad
he was playing attacking
Came in at
attacker.
striker. We were like, what?
I think they told him, Glad, just go in there and harass.
And get a yellow card, because he just started grabbing people and pulling them until he got a yellow. And I was like, that was weird.
So,
But,
any other thoughts on the game?
I mean, it was a good result. First place team at their place. And we got a tie without our 2 best players, and one of their best players was out. And then Tillman went down early, and we still ended up with a point, which is good.
Yeah.
And we were on our way.
Sorry.
No problem.
I was just gonna YouTube a certain person.
Oh, okay. So we want to go to halftime? Halftime. Oh, we need to do some. Ba-da-ba. So, any orange slices for the LAFC game?
I think we all gave him to Anelli. No?
No, Ojeda.
Ojeda was very good.
Sorry. Ojeda. Yeah. I said Anelli, but he came in at the end. Ojeda was the man of the match across the board. No?
I think he was man of the match. I think right now Ojeda might be team MVP.
Whoa.
Well, he's been the most consistent player, I think.
He's been unsung
Defensive,
hero.
yeah.
Unsung hero.
For sure.
MVP is probably Chicho, obviously, but if there was a dark horse or maybe
most
there's
consistent. I don't
maybe
know.
there's the MVP and then there's the team MVP, kind of the player that the unsung hero, so to speak.
Well, and he's still young, too. He's a young kid, right? Like
24?
Is
So-
he,
so-
is
I
he
thought
that
it was
old?
24.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not that old.
Okay.
And we're going with,
young.
you said Ojeda. I think Palacio deserves one. I thought Palacio had a really good game as well. And what about you?
And Crooks went 90 plus 2 until Glad came in for him. Played multiple positions, connected well, kept LAFC off the ball, which is a big deal. So, of course, Ojeda first. But, if I got to pick somebody else, I'd pick Crooks. Had a good game.
All right. So, a couple things we want to talk about at halftime. Breaking news. A couple of things. RSL signed another player.
Did we talk about
what?
Michelle, though?
Let's
Benji
start with
Michel.
him. Yeah.
Benji Michelle
came
plays in the
in.
next game, yeah.
Yeah.
He came in. He was with Orlando, so there's a Jason Christ tie there.
Ooh.
He was in Portugal. Is that where he was at?
Was it Portugal?
Are you asking or are you telling? I thought you were reporting this.
He was. I thought you were
You're just
looking
making it up?
He was playing.
Benji Michel played in Japan and then Taiwan. Then he played
Korea. He hit the
Korea.
whole.
He was just trying to follow BTS. That's all he was doing.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
He's
He
a
was
big
supporting them
Jungkook
while
fan.
BTS was doing their.
He made his way back, and we had to trade for the top spot, which you don't have to trade for the top of the allocation order anymore. So we just had to
Oh.
pay Orlando a transfer fee.
Of
and
50K?
50,000, yeah, of GAM.
That's good because we haven't been using GAM at all.
Right. Which we all know GAM is a sham, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Gam is the goods, man. Gam is what you want.
GAM's what you need.
GAM, TAM.
Anyway.
Yeah.
And so he's on our team now, and he played in the Colorado game, which we'll talk about.
Also coming off an ACL tear.
Yeah.
Michelle is?
Yeah.
Benji.
Not. I think he recovered and played where he was playing.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna look it up, but I'm pretty sure he was in Portugal.
Here, let me.
No, I had the next guy.
Oh yeah, the next guy. So
On July 23rd, Real Salt Lake added attacking depth to its roster with the acquisition of forward/winger Lachlan Brook. Don't call me Lachlan. My name is Lachlan.
they call him Lackey.
The Lackey.
Lackey.
The Lackey kid. The Brook from down under. Wait, that's not the right accent. Sorry. I apologize for my lack of Australian accent.
You are terrible.
But Australian, he's down under. He was in the Youth International, and he was in the A-League, which for those of you that don't know is the Australian League. And he's kind of a winger/forward, which is kind of what Benji Michel is as well. It's kind of that winger/second forward. I don't think they're going to play on the same side because I think Benji's left-footed, right?
Lachlan is left footed.
Lachlan's left-footed.
Okay.
Yeah. See, he was
I knew
playing
one
in
of them
Portugal.
was.
He was playing in Portugal.
Who was?
Benji Michel.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Brooke.
I was looking at Benji Michel too
All
while you
right.
were talking about Brooke.
Benji Michel's going to wear number...
17. Oh, and
No, that's
Lockie's gonna wear number 17.
You better have this in front of you next time you try
It's
to
right here.
do
I
breaking
can
news,
tell you.
Brant. It better be
I can
right
tell
in front of
you
you.
right
Heaven's
here
sakes, man. Giving out
who,
bad information. Benji Michel and number 17 will be Brooke. Brooke is that's his
He
last
is
name.
28.
Lachlan Brooke.
Benji Michel is wearing 28.
Yeah. So those are your two new players.
And rumor has it from Tom Bogert that they are still working on a DP signing. That could
That
still
could
happen.
shake things up.
Whoa.
Reinvent the wheel.
And
at
maybe
Real
it's
Salt Lake.
Wood, who plays in the Premier League, who's also Australian. Just kidding.
Wood?
It's probably not him.
Oh,
because he's been scoring goals left and right in the Premier League. So
okay,
probably
like
not him,
how
but, hey.
much money do you think the owners are willing to spend? Because I feel like they're pretty invested with RSL.
Yeah, we're like 3 days into the transfer window and we've already signed 2 players.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That must mean we got the 2 players we really wanted.
You think so?
Yeah, right.
Well, I thought that these were like emergency buys.
Oh, I don't think so. I think they're. What do you think, Brent?
I believe that
Oh, well, that's
Lucky, I think he's a replacement for Gomez.
Oh.
He plays a lot on the right side. I watched the highlights, and he does tend to shoot off frame, off target. So there's a lot of those shots. He scored a few goals, so he fit right in.
Yeah, it worked really
He's
well.
not afraid to shoot. How's that?
You know, when you say
Okay.
the joke again, it doesn't hit as hard.
Right, the second time it never.
You should
hits as
save the
hard.
jokes before we have our little meeting before the podcast.
I shouldn't tell you the jokes.
You don't tell us
before.
the jokes, because then I would have probably laughed at that. Because before I'm like, oh no, he whipped out the joke again. Like he's already
I'm
thrown that
so
out
sorry.
there. You know
Oh,
what
I
I
was
mean?
just gonna go with who the best player in RSL history with shots off target. So that's best off target shots.
Yeah.
So highest percentage of shots off target.
Is who?
Bofo.
He's not very tall.
Oh, Plata. Bro, I can't do Plata, bro.
Highest percentage of shots off target in a single season.
He
was
would
Plata.
scoop the ball. Like he would hit so far underneath that ball that it would float. I remember being like, he's that low to the ground. He should be able to get closer to center mass on that ball. But it was like in his stride. He's like, scoop, and it would just float off to the side. You're like, what the heck?
I'd like to apologize to our listeners for bringing up Plata. It's Brennan's nemesis. It's his kryptonite.
It is. I mean, I've only had one experience with him, and it was 2:00 in the morning, and I just haven't had respect for him in a long time.
That's all right. I just thought I'd bring him into the picture.
If you're
somehow.
watching
But-
on YouTube, watch this. This is João Plata. So you're the edge of the bar.
Oh, okay.
Do me. I'm like, okay. I'm like,
All
I
right.
hate you.
See you later.
I hate you. And he had some like average girls around him. I was like,
Oh, average girls, huh?
It was like,
Big
turn the
time.
lights on, and you'd be like, oh, kind of
Well,
girls.
it's not the NBA, so.
Well,
He's also
Brooke,
not a
the
5'6".
Australian guy, has 9 appearances for the U23 team.
Oh, good.
And, he's just kind of graduated out of that. And
Came up
he's
with Adelaide.
Adelaide United.
Anyway, anyhow.
And not last season.
the Bobby.
On the
Dang
Barbie.
it. My Australian accent's horrible.
Not last season, but the season before, he played quite a few games. I think he had 34 appearances for Crew Alexandra in League Two.
So if you follow the last portion of the podcast, you would know that our hometown favorite, Crawley Town FC,
Yeah.
they played them in Wembley for the final.
Was he there?
No, that he was.
okay.
It was the season before.
Yeah, one season before that,
Oh, okay, good.
back in League Two. But yeah,
Well, we can ask him about how
Congrats. Yeah.
it was to play against
To
Crawley.
Brooke.
Happy to interview him and ask him that question.
Yeah.
But I think looking at the way he played, he looks like a replacement, or he fit right in with what Gomez does on the right. Maybe not as good, obviously.
Well,
but,
maybe he was a replacement for our guy that we already let go to. Was it Leon? Where'd he go? Barajas? Where'd he go?
Barajas.
Oh,
I don't think. I
Went
don't
to
think
Mexico.
they're. Yeah, went to Chivas.
Yeah, Chivas. Right.
I don't know. I think he's more of a Gomez because they were talking about Gomez, RSL putting a number on Gomez. I saw that.
Oh, what number
15
was it?
million.
What?
Yeah, you come up 15 million, you can own Andres Gomez.
Well, why
You can have your own Andres Gomez for 15 million.
Did you see that Wiley went to Chelsea from
Wiley?
Atlanta?
Oh wow.
Caleb Wiley?
Oh yeah, I saw
He's
that.
a homegrown Atlanta guy, too.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
super impressive. I was
That's
like, no
really
way an
crazy.
MLS
Yeah.
guy is actually being like sold
Sold
Super
to Chelsea, bro. And
That's crazy.
they're immediately loaning him out, but because they
Oh.
don't think he's ready for the Premier League. But I think it's like, I don't know, one of those Portuguese or something.
something out there.
Something quick.
something,
Some
yeah.
quick loan so he can get playing time at a high level and then
See
get
if he
back
works
to
out.
Chelsea if he works out.
Same with that Sullivan kid.
So,
Sullivan or Colvin?
Yeah, from Philadelphia.
Yeah, Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to
Yeah,
Man City
him and his brother are both on.
on loan.
Or
Or no.
they're both at Philadelphia because they're still minors. And when you're 18 and you want to go play overseas, you have to have a European passport, or it's against child labor laws in the United States.
Yeah, that's right.
So, sorry, I pulled out my lawyer voice there.
I would hate for you to be representing me.
Tyler Thomas, Esquire.
This is my lawyer voice. Sorry.
Tyler
To
Thomas,
all lawyers.
Esquire.
I apologize to anyone with
So
a law
the
degree.
DPs, rumors, James Rodriguez, that one always pops up.
Yeah.
Coming into RSL.
Probably
and,
not.
what's his name? Your goalie.
My goalie. De Gea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So leftover rumors. We signed 2 attacking players. What would you rather have? A goalie?
David De Gea.
Or would you
David
rather
De Gea.
Would you rather have
I would have David De Gea. I will fangirl so hard for David De Gea. I would literally...
David.
I would
It's
have to
David,
hug
bro.
him.
He's Spanish.
I would jump the fence. I would be like, De Gea! Me gusto! Oh. Seriously, that guy, such a talented goalie. Such a talented goalie. What a dumb organization to get rid of him for Onana. Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, so no, if De Gea gets here, that's ridiculous. There's no way.
Where was he last year?
He wasn't nowhere. They dropped him last year after
Wait.
he won the Golden Glove. He won the Golden Glove,
Wait.
and then he literally gets dropped. Well, it wasn't
Man
dropped.
United just set him on the bench?
They had a disagreement for
Okay.
terms, right?
Okay.
Because he was
He's
re-upping.
like, I got golden gloves, bro. Now you can pay me more.
Yeah.
And they were like,
And the problem is that our coach, Ten Hag, was asking him to play a different style of role, kind of like
Okay.
a sweeper keeper, but obviously at a much, much higher level.
Sure.
It's the Manchester United. It's at such a higher level, and he wasn't in practice and on the training grounds. He wasn't doing everything that he wanted, and so he lost that opportunity, and he didn't want to be behind Onana, so he just didn't re-up his contract.
Did he just Mesut Ozil it?
I think so, without the
He just
shady
sat on
remarks.
the bench and never made the bench?
No, he never even sat on the bench. He was
Okay, so he didn't
as soon
make
as,
the bench. He was a scratch before the game.
Yeah, as soon as they knew that they were going to buy Onana, I think he was like, okay, cool, I'm stepping down, and he'll look at other options.
So he just sat out a year.
Yeah, and he's still
that sucks,
freaking
man.
fantastic if you follow him on Instagram.
Dang.
But yeah, he was gearing up, and he just sent something on Twitter, the little hourglass, thinking that maybe he's going to retire or something like that. So it's up in the air what he's going to be doing. But he's still one of the best
so
goalies.
if you could get anyone, you'd pick him. But would you rather have a keeper or a center back on this RSL team?
On this
Do you
RSL
think we need
team?
another center back, or are we going to get
No.
some healthy people back?
No. What I would really want, I want a Katranis on the other side.
You want a right back.
I want somebody with that same amount of tempo on that right side. So that way, if we need to, we can pivot. We can run high side on the right. We can pivot back and run left side high.
But we've seen that from Hidalgo in stretches when he hasn't had to play center back.
Yeah, but also Hidalgo doesn't have the ability to curl that ball in and also be a dynamic with the midfield.
It's 2 assists.
Oh,
Whoa.
no way.
No way.
Wait, how many does Brody have?
I don't know.
One.
Oh, are we saying that Brody should start
No, I'm
over
saying
Hidalgo?
Brody's played more right back than Hidalgo
what was the
all
guy
season.
that
and
retired? What was his name last season or the season before that?
Who?
That we got a signature of? I forget his name. What's his
What?
name?
Your favorite player of all time.
What was his name? Beasler. That's right. How many assists did that guy have?
He didn't have any. He
It was-
played backup center, defensive triple center.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Fifth back.
So
Which
I don't,
is a
I don't
fun
under- I
role to
don't-
play on a
I-
team. Have you ever played that role on a team, Brennan?
Yeah, I have.
Fifth center back.
Yeah, it was. I was playing with a lot of girls on my team, and I had to run back quite a bit.
You only sub in the 80-plus minute when your team's trying to protect the lead, and you just play center
I
back.
kept thinking Beavers in my head. I'm like, it's not Beavers.
not
What is
Beavers.
it? What is it?
Beasler.
And I
You
said
have that
Borchers,
poster?
and I was like, no, it's not Borchers.
You have that poster, right?
I do. I still have the poster with only
But no,
him.
I don't understand
signing
your
it.
argument. So what I'm
He's
saying
the
is,
only guy that signed that whole poster.
if we take the team as a whole, right? So
I tried
we've
to give
just
him a hug. He wouldn't hug me.
we have Gomez, we have Luna, who is awesome. We have Crooks, that's awesome. We have Chicho in the front, that's awesome. We
Gomez
have
is awesome.
Ojeda, and we have Anelli, and then we also have Palacio gaining some ground.
Yep. So that
I don't really want to change that.
right.
I love Glad and Vera.
Okay.
Like, I think that duo has become something that I never thought would ever happen. And I think Katranis has been influential in certain situations, and then also pressing up forward. Such a quality guy, and also like his bickering and his animosity. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that he doesn't take crap.
Uh-huh.
Now, what do we see on the opposite end? Nothing. I mean, Brody, hands down, I have way more respect for him this season.
However,
But for that role to take the team to something more dynamic, more
He's a backup
higher level,
back, is what
right.
you're saying.
And also Hidalgo, slightly the same way. I love the fact that Hidalgo can come on like a Julio and save the game or alter their attacking style of play or be more defensive minded. Like I would rather have Hidalgo come in than Eric Holt or Silva, somebody like that. Like Hidalgo is somebody who honestly, like we could see some massive growth, but I think his position is a little undecided.
Yeah, and the downside of Hidalgo is on set pieces, he's no Silva, right? Silva can get up on corners and set pieces and nod a ball in. We really don't have that from our current center back pairing. Like I haven't yet to see Quentin get his head on a good cross.
We should really think about that.
He's 6'7", dude.
Well, yeah, but we should
He's
really
a head
think about
taller
that.
than everybody. Like he should be better in the air.
Quinton was not an acquisition that was something that was set to be in a lead role. It was an acquisition for time, right? We didn't have that much time. We reached out to other teams, and
yet
that's who we got.
here he is, throw him in, and let's hopefully something good happens.
So our main guys are Vera and Glad. The one guy that I would say that we need to ask more of is Glad, but I mean I feel kind of bad because he's
Just
like
coming
our
off
rock.
an ankle and-
So that's the guy that needs to be more offensive minded. Vera has solidified his place. He is somebody who can put a left foot on the ball, be aggressive, shoot. Like I mean, he saved us in LAFC.
Yeah, but then the Colorado game.
Well,
Should we start talking about
we
that?
can't.
now?
I just wanted to bring up a couple of things.
somebody
since we're
was
at
smoking
halftime.
reefer. That's for sure.
Section 34, 35, they were talking about it on Twitter today. They got a notice that they don't get to stand up anymore. That section over there.
Wait, what?
Section 35, I think that's the section that BranDt helped get going. Everybody stood over there. It's not the supporter section, but it is.
The sun section is what it is, right?
But 35 is that northeast?
That's just to the left of us, right on the.
Yeah, it's a section that's
to the
always
behind
in
the
the
goal.
sun because
It's not behind the goal. It's the ones that are.
Southwest.
It's the one that the sun always hits, right? Because the sun misses the thing and it hits over
that
there.
sucks.
Yeah, so
So-
it's not a great section.
We're here, and
But-
they're here.
Yeah,
Do you know you're north and south, dude? I was saying coordinates like
Yes,
hi.
it's
So
east.
this is
No, I don't.
This is-
east side.
I think I've explained that multiple times.
east side.
That I am directionally challenged.
So
Thanks,
that
elementary school.
section is the last section to get out of the sun because of the way the sun sets in the summer.
Oh, okay. But then what's going on with it? Why can't they stand
So-
up?
Well, there are certain sections of the field that are standing sections. So all of the south end,
Yeah.
right? Did we get that direction right, Brennan?
Yeah.
Just checking with you on my directions.
Absolutely.
Okay, south end is all standing except the seats. You can stand in the seats or no? There's the safe standing section. Anyway.
Yeah.
And then there's section, what is it, 21?
26
26.
next to us.
Yep, they're like a group, fan. What is it? Fan. What is it?
Supporter
called?
group, supporter section.
Yeah.
Section 26 had permission to stand. There are fewer and fewer people that stand there. Same with section 35. I don't know if anybody in section. if
26 is never standing.
They used to be though.
Right. But like this season,
But
it's been.
we used to stand. That was me and my brothers. We used to stand, but we're kind of big dudes, and we were standing on the front row, and so we got people around us that wanted to stand, and so there were like 15, 20 of us that would stand up, and then we were asked to sit down probably 400 times, and we always just said no, thank you. Not for nothing, but it's because we wanted to support the team, right? That was our way of supporting the team. As we stood the whole game, and we yelled at the opposing goalies, not in a mean way, but in
Yeah,
a
you did.
light-hearted,
Don't
teasing way.
try to save face. I've heard your catcalling. It's not very nice. It's honestly. I'm like, do you
Hey,
kiss your mother with that mouth?
Stefan Fry, and we would just make fry jokes the whole game about, hey, was that your Cajun fries?
before you got into the fryer?
Was that your crinkle move, Fry? Like stupid things, right? Like,
Sponsored by
Yeah, those are
not things that he would go home and cry about, but things that he might actually joke around about with people.
Oh,
later.
isn't it great that he cut his hair?
Yeah.
He
looks like a real
thank
person.
you. Yeah, I know. I was like, dude, you've been holding on to that bleached
Good
hair
job,
for
Steph.
way too long.
And
Anyway.
also, so there's some angst there. Who knows? Maybe 26 got the same note. But it just kind of concerns me just a little bit. It's
that
nice.
we're forcing our fans to sit down. I hate it. I hate it, Brad.
Well, no, and also that the season tickets came out, the renewals and stuff.
And they're all
going up. But also what they've done is the first few rows are more expensive.
yeah.
Then this next half, the bottom half of the section are a little less
More.
than the front row, and then in the back half is a little less. So they've split the sections into 3.
Okay, why was that so hard for you? Like, you could have just said it was more expensive in the front, then when you go to the middle it's less expensive, and then when you go to the very back it's
Drama.
even less.
I was going for drama.
Oh, okay. I was like, so you're saying it's just to scale, the farther back the cheaper it is.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's annoying a little bit to me because
Explaining it like it's a brand new thing.
well, it's annoying.
He's slicing his bread, Brennan. Let him slice his bread.
It's annoying because we work really hard every season to slowly move down.
Based on seniority.
Yeah, so we got
that's
down.
how they've done
We're
it.
8 rows up, and now because of all our hard work, if we want to stay there, we get to pay more.
Right. And
So-
if you want the cheaper seats, you can move
Back. And and then
Interesting.
We don't even want to bring up concessions. I know. Anyway.
That's 400.
So
I just pregame at my car.
I'm gonna have to start, getting a 6-pack down myself.
I got that 110 volt. I just bring my microwave, turn it on, hot pocket. I'm set.
I was gonna say,
Just go to
is
Walmart,
that
get a $20
popcorn or-
microwave. You know what I mean?
Dr. Pepper, Coca-Cola. Just
You'd
pound
actually
them.
come out ahead. You'd come out ahead if you went and grabbed a microwave and then.
Seriously,
used
I
it
should
in your
I should
car.
go to the movie theater parking lot and be like, hey, $10 concessions.
Yeah. So
Oh, boy.
I am a little bit concerned.
Yeah.
We saw what happened when the same ownership group brought in the hockey team.
Yeah.
Matt, did you see the prices for the hockey team?
Woo!
And they're in the season ticket holder meeting
Aye.
before the season. They were saying, "Oh, our concessions. We've got this competition with the Jazz, so we're keeping it around there." I was like, "Well, why? You're competing against yourself." So I just concerned that maybe, they're going to the same concerns I like in England, where the real fans can't afford to go to the game.
Right. But also, when you think about it, how is somebody going to afford multiple teams and multiple large signings?
No, I get all that. I get
Right.
all that. But at the same time, he's got $12 billion. But you're not asking him to do stuff for free. But at the same time, it's just a little bit of a concern that, are you want the grassroots or you want the sponsorship dollars, and what's going to build up the team and make people want to come to the game? Or, are they just going to cater to people that can buy the tickets, which is fantastic for the club, but is it going to water down the fan experience because
Because they're not
real fans.
fans. They're people showing up in
Kind of
the
like the
seats.
fans that go to the Super Bowl, fans that go to the MLS Cup.
Yeah.
They
Which is happening tonight. Tomorrow night? Tonight.
No, it's happening
All-Star
right
game.
now.
part of it's
All-Star
tonight.
game tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's tomorrow,
It's
but
the
this is the
skills
fun stuff
competition.
is today. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
the
was going to
songs.
say,
July
I just saw
23rd.
Luna setting people up.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
pretty cool.
so that was
Good
just
for
a little concern. I think, but you can't complain about the way the team is going and how it's getting better. But just something to look at. Just something
Ready
think
to
about.
talk about the Colorado game?
Let's go to the Colorado game. Anybody want to talk about the starting lineup against?
I do. So we had, weirdly enough, it was a weekend game, and we had our boy Beavers in the goal, which we were excited for. Then we had our tried and true Brody, Glad finally back starting, Vera, and then Oviedo on the left side.
Which was that? Get Catranis out?
No, I think that was saving Catranis. I think it
Okay.
was saving his legs. And then we had the tried
Made
and
the
true Anelli and Ojeda combo. Gomez, Crooks, and Luna, and then Julio up top. And I had doubts right before the game when I saw that.
About who? Leo? Julio or
No,
Brody?
I honestly... Well, yeah, Julio. I mean, that one was pretty true. Because, I mean, he's always like a 50-50. But I was honestly not too excited to see Gomez in.
Really?
Yeah. Because after seeing what we were capable of doing against LAFC, it was kind of like, okay, why don't we just keep going that route?
It's not like Chang was doing anything. Remember he made that run into the box? And then he was almost like, they left me open in the box. What do I do? And then he shot it right at the goalie on his preferred left foot. Like, dude, like, come on. You gotta put that in a better spot. Like,
I had
like you've been there before.
I had a little bit of consternation or a little bit about concern about this game.
What does that even mean?
Consternation.
Okay.
Consternation. So much.
I was constipated.
You have a fierce rhetoric, sir.
Out.
Your rhetoric is quite absurd.
Because
Indubitably.
RSL going into a game where playing against a team where they're trying to win something that means more to them than it does to us. The Rocky Mountain Cup is up for grabs. They haven't won it since COVID, and they hadn't before that. They hadn't won it forever.
Were we up 1 goal? We were up 1 goal, right?
Yeah.
We'll get there.
All we had to do was tie.
And so I thought that RSL might not take this game as serious as Colorado, which was the case. And I saw people saying, "Oh, it's just a Rocky Mountain Cup." But I don't know about you, but I remember when RSL won the Rocky Mountain Cup for the first time, and it was a big deal.
Well, also, this is an entirely different team. So now, like, the level of Colorado is different. Like, the past years, it was like, yeah, it's Colorado. I mean, they don't know what they're doing. But now, this is a serious Colorado team that can do something in the playoff. Like, they've really turned that entire organization around.
So I was a little concerned that the RSL wouldn't match the intensity, and they kind of
didn't.
They kind of didn't.
Yeah. But in all fairness, it came down to a random handball, which sucks, but that's how both of the games we lost to Colorado ended up. Not the game we won. We won in a shootout after we gave up 2 goals, which were crap goals. It's like, why do we play so weird against these guys?
Oh, I hate this goal. So dumb.
Yeah, we were pretty... I mean, we started off strong, I think, and I think we were outplaying them. And as soon as we scored, I think it was like a letdown after that. We kind of were like, okay, we got this.
Our level was there. Our level was like, okay, this is Real Salt Lake. We're going to win this game. We
kept
scored the
playing
goal,
Julio in.
and then it was like we just did not have respect for Colorado. Our level just dropped.
Well, and to be fair, every single touch that led to both goals was really well done by Colorado. Like, I hate to give Colorado props, but they were well worked.
We got to
goals.
respect them now.
Yeah, because they can do stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Vera was so casual on both goals. The second one, he gave the ball away, but on the first one, he kind of just like, like, I got this covered, and then boom, goal. And it was like, no, dude, you got to be a little more intense back there. And I think his casualness back there is what led to both of those goals happening.
You think somebody had a conversation with him before and be like, hey, yellow card accumulation, don't, like, take a chill, dude.
I don't know.
You think something outside the...
I don't know.
Because he was different this game.
Well, I can tell you that the fans were excited. The fans that were there.
Who was there?
I was there.
You were there?
Yeah.
You're never there.
That was my first time, Papa Cherry, for away games.
Oh, boy. Sorry, kids. Don't look up that reference.
No, don't do that. No, it was our first away game. My wife and I went. Long drive. It is a long drive. But there was a lot of RSL fans there. Before the game, we stopped by. We hung out with some of the fans in the parking lot. Kind of marched in.
How much cannabis did you do?
All of it.
Really?
Yeah,
I figured.
all of it.
Hey, tell us about the parking lot. Are there really, like, gopher holes out there?
Yeah. I
There
will
really
say
are? You
that-
see gophers? Like,
Yeah, podcasts. My wife
Serious?
has pictures of podcasts and bunnies everywhere.
just like
Podcasts
in the
and
field?
bunnies. Yeah.
At the game?
Yeah. And I was, I've heard stories about the Dick Sporting Goods.
Wow, don't Google that either, kids.
What?
Dick Sporting Goods Park.
Yikes. We're just getting more and more vulgar as we go.
One of the guys on Big Soccer, he has like the quote underneath the Big Soccer board. And he was telling his kids where Colorado plays, and he goes, his son goes, their nickname is the Dicks? No. So it was out in the middle of nowhere. I can see how they would think that because it's in Commerce City, and it's a jaunt away from downtown.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like how Denver is miles and miles and miles away from the mountains.
From the airport?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and the mountains.
Well, downtown Denver's not that far from the mountains.
Oh,
right?
it's a ways.
It's an hour.
It's
Well,
a
45
long-
minutes.
It's a
bit,
long way.
Yeah.
So, but
It's not like Salt Lake where you're 15, 20 minutes, you're up the canyon, right?
yeah. So
There it's
when
more
you're
like 40,
actually by
50.
mountains.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But there's apartments and condos and hotels and there were restaurants all within 5 minutes of the stadium.
Oh,
So
okay.
I think
so it's
as-
built up around it
Yeah.
over time.
There's plenty of the
Were-
nice thing
were
about
there
it.
Walmarts there?
Oh, I don't know. I don't look for Walmart.
But that's who owns them, right?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
the-
he's- Cronkies.
he's against Walmart.
I am.
I'm pro Walmart.
I'm
You
against-
are?
Well,
Let's
they
stop.
own Arsenal.
Okay, that's fair.
Oh, I'm pro Costco. They own TaylorMade. Or they're in trouble with TaylorMade.
So we hung out with fans. Some of them chatted us up. I met one of the guys from the Big Soccer Board. Met Fizz, Andy, and his brother. Gave him
Shout out. Let's go.
Gave him some stickers. They got
Orange slices?
random orange slices, and random fan.
Oh, dude.
Also met up with Jeff BranDt and his son.
Really?
Yeah, he showed me his name. His middle name is also Brent. His is spelled wrong. No D. Mine has a D in it. And so we had a good time meeting some fans, and then we marched in with the team. It was a good first experience for us, minus the rain. Holy cow.
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot about that.
What
Yeah.
time did the rain start? How far in?
Like, almost halftime.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
like
so
right
we
at
got
halftime.
right at the first half. And like I said, we were right, the away section was right above us. We ended up, I just grabbed the tickets I could. We ended up on the fifth row on the aisle where I like to be. And the fifth row is kind of like we're almost in the front. There's the cement, and then it drops down, and there's some more seats and a pathway. And it's like 30 feet from the field, the fifth row.
That seems
Really?
like a long ways.
Yeah, it's kind of like RSL. It's like MLS 2.1 or whatever. Like the second round of soccer-specific stadiums. Unlike the new ones where, like St. Louis,
You're like right on it.
it's very European. You're right on. So there's some room to grow there. But I thought it was a fine stadium. I didn't have any issues with it.
I heard
thought
a
it was
couple
kinda fun.
people made fun of it. Like, well, it's like if Real didn't really do much to theirs and didn't really put a roof on it and didn't really put in a north end and didn't really decorate it nicely like we've done over the last couple of years with all the murals and paintings and all this stuff.
It's a
kinda
little
like
dated.
that.
It's a little dated. Their big video board has like different colors. The screen.
Cute
You
little
know?
baby boy.
It's not working.
And Malaysia, my wife was like,
Militia?
they only have one. They have
He has two wives.
yeah, both of my wives were there.
When she goes in different area codes, she's now Militia.
Malaysia. Once, it's medical, she said. It's medicinal.
It's medicinal.
But they've got the big board and no time, and then they've got the little high school board on the other end that has the time and
they
stuff.
couldn't put the.
But it was our
counter
first time.
on
We're
there.
not incredibly gregarious when it comes to or outgoing. More vicarious. We have to see stuff.
So, for those of you that don't have a huge vocabulary,
Or
what
a
Brent
thesaurus.
said was
It's
that
gregarious.
he is not one to yell much like
we go.
I would if I were there. He's
And-
no loud and proud West Side hound.
What's hard? I'm proud. I'm just more of a watcher. Like I said, vicarious. I will enjoy the game through others.
Yeah, we heard you.
More
I
of
was
a
just
voyeur.
I was just translating for the people that don't speak that.
But
Who
initially,
don't read a lot of books, you know? They don't read as many books as you.
read as
Yeah.
Brent.
Dude, I feel like when you talk, you just have your
Granite
pinky
School
up
District.
every single time. You're just like, oh, yeah.
Oh, do you know why they
boy, no.
would drink their
Uh-uh.
tea and stuff
So-
with the finger up?
Oh,
The
what was
game
it?
started and Julio had a good
When
chance.
they
Hold
were-
on. This is a fun fact.
This is fun.
This is a fun fact, man. I was just watching a thing on this.
So
And
when they would go in the
Stop.
1700s or whenever it was in the Middle Ages,
Yeah.
and they would have an event, and all these fancy people are there, they would stick their finger up when they were drinking their tea or whatever it was that was a way to let people know that
You don't care.
they had syphilis. So the people they would say that had syphilis would know, so that they could canoodle each other. And
Wow, this
So-
podcast is so off the rails. We're so on the vulgar train tonight. I apologize to everyone who's
That's the
ever
truth.
listened to our podcast. I know it doesn't matter if it's true. I don't know why we're talking about it in the middle of our soccer podcast.
Well, he
That's
said
my
you-
question.
Hey,
you should bring your finger up.
No, I didn't say that. I even tried to interrupt you multiple
I don't
times
have
with soccer
any sexually
games.
transmitted diseases.
Hey, you know what? Shout out to my boy Oliver. I bet he's laughing right now while cutting the yard. So this
All
one's
right,
for you,
so
Oliver.
back to the game.
So yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a great experience. So first half we're up 1-0, and RSL was dominating.
And let's talk
Anderson-
about the goal.
We're
Right?
getting there.
Yeah.
The first goal, and Zach Steffen, the All-Star.
Did Stefan get an all-star nod?
No, but he's supposed to be a superstar goalie.
I
It was a
love
great play
the
by
pressure
Oviedo.
from Oviedo on that wing, and then ball gets turned over. Gomez tucks in from the wing, and the back line doesn't step because Julio makes this diagonal run.
Yeah.
He froze both center backs, and the outside backs couldn't step because he was in the middle. So Julio takes off and drags the center backs together, and they're not sure who's guarding him.
Oh, he
so they
should've
kind of
blocked that.
step, and then Gomez just smacks it, and it bounces cool and into the corner.
So one thing you don't do, so this is like a tennis thing too. If you look at the goalie, he is retreating diagonally back, and that is probably the worst thing you can do to deflect a ball. So like in tennis, you want to cut the corner and dissect the angle. You want to come at it at the 90-degree
Whoa,
angle.
Mr. Vernacular over there, all dissecting angles.
That's
and
right.
stuff.
I went to college and I did calculus. It's great. I got an A minus.
Whereas in tennis, you got an A, right?
Yeah, totally.
So what does that mean, really?
So what it means is even though the ball is going to feel like it's coming at me faster, I'm actually getting to the ball in a quicker amount of time.
Sooner.
And so that way I can cover more ground. So that way, like him going backwards to block that, the ball is actually going to be moving away from him as soon as it gets in line with him, and it's going to go right past him. So that's why,
That's
like,
what happened.
yeah, it bugs me every
Yeah.
time I watch like goalies when they play. Like, you see, like in a penalty kick, they want to move forward as much as they can because they're trying to intersect that angle at like a 90-degree.
Right.
So for him, I was like, that guy totally messed up. That should have not have gone in. But yeah,
But he was kind of a step out, and he didn't see it until late because Julio made that
Ran
run
across and he was watching
and
it, yeah.
he was kind of watching to see if that ball was played into him, because that's what we do a lot.
Yeah.
And it's great that Gomez, variety of service, mixed it up and took the shot. Left-footed. Good job, kid.
no, it was right-footed.
No, lefty, right?
No,
No, it was right-footed, and he put a topspin on it.
Oh, okay. That's the spin that was coming on it.
And then
Because the announcer even said it deflected in. But then
It didn't even touch
it
him,
didn't
yeah.
touch anybody.
Yeah, it
But
looked like it
looked-
because he lifted his back leg to try to
and
touch
because
it.
it had that spin on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool.
And so then
Good
a few
stuff.
minutes later, Luna had a shot where he didn't put it on frame.
Oh, such a good play. That was so well worked. We worked it down the right, crossed it in. Everybody overran it. Luna was coming onto it.
Missed it.
Skied it. Good job, All-Star.
So, side note, Diego Luna, that mustache, that little tickle monster he's got. I mean, keep it going, big guy. Oh boy. You know what I'm saying? Like that guy's stunting right now. He's got some swag. I wanted that mustache to keep growing.
Yeah, RSL had some opportunities. Luna had two. Gomez had another one that Zach Steffen pushed to the outside. RSL was on top of him.
Yeah,
And-
they were decent chances from outside the
For
box.
the first
Wow.
Oh, what a great ball by them.
34 minutes. And then, let's talk about their goal. What do you guys want to
So they
dissect that?
weren't playing through their nine very much, Navajo, and he finally got involved. He made a run down the side in between Oviedo and Vera just kind of tracked him a little casually. He played it back across about the 18 to their boy, Mr. Cole Bassett.
Oh, see, I hate how Brody's sucking in.
And
right
see,
there.
Bassett's open, and then,
Yeah.
Brody can't cover them both. He's got Bassett, and he's got number 7, who ends up getting the goal because Bassett just plays it one time and he one times it. And then Beavers is stuck because he's got the whole goal with Beavers in a shot. So, yeah, he doesn't cover the near post, but even if he does cover the near post, he could easily hit it to the far post. And it's,
Well,
you know
isn't
what I mean?
that so? What could Beavers do? To me, it looked
He
like
got hung out to dry. If
that's-
he one times that ball and it's anywhere
Yes.
on frame and it's not within his reach, it's a goal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the fault of the back line not being able to slide over fast enough and soon enough because either the back line hasn't slid or the center pivots haven't swung back either. So where was,
Ojeda was jogging in.
Ojeda was
Oh, well,
Too far
no.
back?
This is all backline. You can't throw in the midfield.
Well-
so midfield is not necessarily the issue. Brody's trying to backpedal. Vera is supposed to be more physical.
But Cole
Glad's-
Bassett's playing midfield too, right? So
Right.
He's coming up from the midfield,
Yeah.
which
Whether-
kind of freezes Brody having to come to him or not.
whether he should or shouldn't. Ojeda, if he had been a little more
But
active,
maybe it
put
was
a little more
Anelli's
pressure,
spot, though.
he could have got back and made it a little more difficult as it was. He
Well,
was
that's like a
just kinda
scapegoat.
jogging.
The real thing
No.
is that pivot between Glad and Vera was the issue. I mean,
Correct.
Vera didn't do enough to cover that next pass.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, you tend to do this a lot, and I don't want you to do this anymore. Midfielders, me being especially, like, that's all I was. I was a center attacking mid or I was a center defensive mid. Like, the amount of blame I got for something that was completely out of my jurisdiction
Yeah.
was so annoying because I'm supposed to cover outside the 18.
Yeah.
Mainly, right? The back line in transition should be handling the forward press.
Correct.
And in this situation, the back line did not work
I
very
don't
well.
disagree with that. I'm just saying that if you watch it, Ojeda could have injected himself into the play and made it a little more difficult, but he was just kind of jogging.
Right. But now-
and you never know. You should be hustling all the time. But I agree with you.
But now
It
you're
wasn't-
opening-
It's not his fault. I'm just saying that.
But no. So take this situation. Now Ojeda presses and comes back in. Now he's more into the box. Now it's opening up something on the outside of the box. So yes, he's going to cover that immediate threat, but now it's opening up more doors for more weapons to get on the ball. And that's what I was always coached. Like, yes, I could be more aggressive in my defense getting in, but then I become sucked into that line, and now we just become a 5-man back line instead of me covering the
Right.
outside shot.
For sure. You got to stay up and
And-
away so that when your team wins the ball, they have somewhere to play.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like the bigger picture.
And there were only 3 guys attacking. All 3 of them touched the ball, and all 4 of our defenders didn't quite get there. And to be fair, it wasn't really Oviedo's fault, but it was between him and Vera where the ball went.
Yeah.
And Navajo made the run. And then Vera was very, very casual about stepping to him. And usually you're only that shy if the guy's faster than you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I'm going to hold him up and just let him pass. Please just pass it.
You
Please
want him to
don't
make his
try to
move
run
early
past
so you
me."
can have ability to catch him.
Yeah. And so he plays it, and then Bassett plays it quick. To be fair, he just played it quick, and was
It was a good goal by
good
them.
finish. I mean,
I think Beavers. I don't know if he was hung out to dry, but I always loved watching Nick Raimondo. Because Nick Raimondo very, very rarely gave up
different. He was
in the
different,
inside
though.
post. And I think
dude.
if Beavers had taken that, been a little more aggressive to the inside post, he does give up the rest of the goal, but I think it's a harder shot than the one that scored on him.
yeah, I had a goalie that played aggressively, and what he would do is he would take away one side so he knew which way to dive. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You know, so goalies will jump to one side to force them to shoot to the other side, and
Yeah.
that's usually the way they like to dive. You know.
Yeah.
Again, I only played high school ball, so
Almost
weren't
at
great.
MLS.
We weren't great.
I didn't
but
even play high school ball.
but goalies have a preferred direction they want to dive, right? So he would go to the one side and then dive the other way. And Nick kind of had that too. He kind of had that, I'm going to cover this, but I know you're likely to do this next thing. And that's what Nick did, is he always thought 2 steps ahead with stuff like that. So
He rarely gave up the inside post.
Well, yeah. Every
Yeah.
time somebody transitioned over, he was hugging that line.
Yeah.
Like he was hugging that post.
yeah, I'd get to that post real quick.
But also, he could leap, dude. Like
Yeah.
that guy got some extension.
yeah.
So and you know,
So good goal for them, though. I hate to say
No,
it, but
no.
it's a good goal.
Yeah, great transition
Good
play.
touch,
Good
good
that
hold-up
forward ball
play.
was really delicious.
Good
So,
touch, good finish. Like, dang.
kudos to you.
and we're not
You know?
not blaming Beavers or anything. That's just stuff he's going to pick up as he gets better. Not that-
Ramondo's on the
yeah
staff, so hopefully he's working with him.
So the second goal came again pretty quick. Nice diving save by Beavers before then, but it was just a few minutes later that and it was another poorly defended play.
Yeah, it's like we were forcing him down the middle.
Well, certain
and then,
and it's a horrible pass by Vera.
yeah, Vera plays it to Anelli, who's guarded,
And then
by
gets
Sam
turned.
Vines, who, if you think of where Sam Vines is supposed to be playing, he's their left back, and he's pressuring Anelli in the midfield. So if Vera had his wits about him, he probably would have played that way out wide or way over to Brody, like one of those two places. Anywhere on that far side of the field was wide open, and yet he forced it into Anelli, which Anelli a lot of times can handle that ball. He can step to it, pressure, put some, he'll get his shoulder in some guy's teeth, and kind of get the guy biting on him, so to speak, and just kind of shove him out of the way. But on this one, he was super light, and Vines kind of hit him at just the right second, and it just turned over. And they played quick and right back into Vines, and before Brody could get in front of him, boom, another goal. And again, Beavers kind of hung out to dry, but he was getting wet because it was raining.
Well, I think this is a goal. I wonder if a more seasoned,
You're right there,
Sorry.
a more seasoned keeper anticipates the pass, which was right across the top of the six.
Yeah, Nick used to do that really well, too.
And I think maybe McMath or a more experienced keeper probably gets a hand on that, deflects
Jumps
it.
that sooner.
May end up as a goal anyway, but I think that would have been the play, and maybe
Yeah,
like I
jump
said,
that back. Who was it that put in that cross? Was that Bassett again? I think it was that crossed that ball over, right? After the Vera turnover, and then Anelli doesn't have it. It's played in. Oh yeah, it's Jonathan Lewis again. So it was Bassett, Lewis, and then finished off by Mr. Sam Vines, which, those three guys kind of all grew up there. I mean, two of them at least. And for being homegrowns, they're making Colorado proud, right?
Well, I guess it can't fault Beavers too much because he was guarding a near post, and so
Kind of a bang play.
forced
too.
them to cross the ball, and he actually, the defender should have bailed him out, but they didn't. So we go down 2-1 at halftime, and it had just started to rain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And it started to rain,
and
and
then lightning
I hate getting wet.
and thunder.
And we
Did
weren't
you
prepared.
feel the thunder? Was
Lightning.
there lightning
And the thunder, yeah.
Thunder?
So we went upstairs, and we sat under so we're standing on the awning, and some Colorado guy goes, "Don't they have rain in Salt Lake?" And I said, "No." I said, they do, but I'm made of sugar. I'm going to melt if I get wet. I hate getting wet, and it was ominous.
Oh man,
Ominous clouds.
that means dark.
It was super
does,
dark, and the
yeah.
lightning was right on us. And about halfway through halftime, they says, "Hey, everybody, run to your cars.
Run to your cars.
Seek shelter." And so we went out, and it was dark, and the lightning was like right on you. And so we
A little
thought about
scary.
it.
Huh?
Yeah, it was a little intimidating, and it was windy. The parking signs were blown everywhere, so we ran back to the hotel. Thought about going back later in the game, but I was tired.
And then an hour and how much longer?
2 hours later.
2 hours later.
The game didn't start back up until 10:22.
Oh my
So it was,
gosh.
and I hate delays.
Ah,
But like I said, I felt kind of bad, but like I said, everybody has their own way to fan. Kudos to the RSL fans that stayed, but
only like 10 Colorado fans stayed. You could really make out the way they spell their Colorado in the stadium after the restart. There's nobody there after that.
This is my excuse because for the week between Wednesday and Sunday on the drive home, I drove 2,000 miles.
And I will drive 2,000 miles, and I will.
Yeah, Wednesday had to drive to Idaho Falls and back. Thursday had to drive to Boise and back. Friday we took off. So, yeah, I'm getting old and it's tired.
Well,
And
you
like I
should have
said,
had Melissa drive for you.
hate getting my other wife. Yeah,
Your other wife,
no,
Melissa.
Melissa, Militia.
Militia.
No,
Should
No,
have had Militia drive for you.
I have a passenger princess. She just knits.
Oh.
Well, that's because you can't handle somebody else driving. What are you talking about?
I can't.
Oh, it's a
because
control issue?
Yeah, literally, he
It's-
wants to drive. I was like, "Hey, I'll drive," and he's like, "No, it's fine."
all
I'm
I
like,
can,
no, it's fine.
All
I'll
I
get-
can do is drive in a car
freak.
because I get sick. I get car sick.
Oh, this little Brent
Yeah,
get
good
caught.
Do you know what I should do? I'll get next time I'll drive, and I'll just get you one of those little portable steering wheels, so that
Oh,
way
yeah.
you can pretend you're
think I'm
driving.
driving.
So that way,
As long as it has the plastic cord. Beep, 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 beep. No, really, I get sick in a car if I'm not driving. Like if I sit in the middle seat in the back.
oh, that's worst.
Oh yeah, you're
Feet on the hump.
getting puked on.
Nice.
I have to probably get the glasses with
The swirls on.
the water in it. That's supposed to work really well. So that's why
Take
I
a nap,
drive.
man.
And my wife, she can read, she can do whatever she wants in the car. So that's the deal.
That's
I'm the
good.
driver. She's the navigator because I don't know north, east, south, or west. Literally,
He's like, turn south. I have no idea what I'm doing.
now, dude.
It is so whacked in my brain. Like,
You're always like, "Yeah, the north side." I'm like, "You're staring at south."
Again? All right, so we did play the second half, though, right?
yeah, we did. Early
What the-
goal.
When did they stop? Did they stop it at half?
No, they went to halftime and then it started
Yes.
raining. Like our hotel was like 5 minutes away or less than that. And by the time we got out of our car, we had to run to the hotel. It was just a deluge, just coming down.
Deluge. The French words.
There was just
It's
so
hard to
much
follow you
rain.
sometimes.
It was a tornado.
Raining cats and dogs over here.
It was really wet.
Yeah, it was.
It was coming down,
So-
folks.
You should have been a DJ, man. What are you talking about? Like, you would have been so good in the early 2000s.
I should have been friends with Mel Blanc, right? The old Bugs Bunny guy. He did all those voices for, like, Warner Brothers cartoons. He did, like, the whole thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's all those voices.
That's
Elmer
crazy.
Fudd and all those old classic ones. Anyway, so we did start up the second half. In about the 48th minute, they can't clear the ball, and Gomez just keeps at it until he finds a tiny, tiny opening, and he blasts the ball in the left-footed corner with his left foot. And Gomez is like the hero of this game. Without him, we get half chances, and with him, we get 2 goals. So I think otherwise, like, we don't score in this game. And it's weird because our possession was like 63%. We outpossessed them. We outshot them. We shot on goal them equally. We total passed 610 times. We controlled everything.
Almost double. They had 325. We had 610 passes.
And yet we lost. Stupid hand rule.
Put the ball on frame. So
That too. I mean, we had multiple chances, and if we could have done a better job of putting it inside of those big white posts, we would have had much better chance of scoring, of course.
And there was one play in about the 50, 60th minute where I think it was when Anderson Julio took a shot, and it was a great example of not playing with Crooks, because Crooks was making a run. All he had to do is pass the ball back. Crooks would have been one-on-one with the keeper. Who knows if he shoots? He probably passes it. But those are the little things that I think will make a difference moving forward if they want to make Crooks an option.
Yeah, and then in the 85th minute, they cross it in. No one is there from Colorado. We get pushed by 3 different guys.
Luna gets in a fight with a ref.
None of them push Glad, though, and Glad is the guy who handballs it. And to handball it, he, jumps, and it goes over Vera's head by just a tiny bit, and Glad is kind of pushing somebody out of the way, and his arm's out in a not normal
Yeah, but what's up
position and
with Homeboy's pulling down Luna beforehand? Anyways.
correct.
And
but,
that's
but
the
it went
big-
over their heads. That right? So is the foul So the foul happens,
Right, but Luna,
and if he calls the foul, then it's a foul.
whoa, I feel like you right now. This is weird.
Why?
Okay. You're completely wrong, okay? Luna could have elevated and hit that ball, making Glad's handball irrelevant and not possible.
Not true,
because
because
if Luna
Vera
wasn't
jumped-
attacked, viciously attacked, verbally assaulted. He
was verbally assaulted,
He was
too?
verbally assaulted. I'm pretty sure he downloaded Ancestry just to talk trash on his ancestors. And if he didn't do that, Luna would have the ability to be elevating up. I don't know. I don't like the officiating. Officiating sucks.
Remy Touchon is never an RSL fan. I think he has a really bad record of. We have bad record of results with him as the ref. Now,
I don't see the foul on Luna other
No,
than he
Luna-
ran into Vera.
no, if you rewind it, Luna gets shoved over, right? Sam Vines like trashes him.
I don't
Right?
see it.
No, it's 27. Who's that?
I don't. I
There's
just don't see it.
Anyway,
I think Luna.
he
Watch it
shoves
live.
him
Watch it
real
live.
good.
There you go.
Let's go back to live.
Okay. You stop touching.
You touch it.
Stop it.
Oh boy.
Okay.
So yeah, their 27 is who is it?
See,
Oh, it's Luna
Stuart
tugging on him.
Baines.
Vera runs into Luna.
No. Luna's tugging onto him and is getting pulled down because the guy's running away.
And Vera's the one that clobbers Luna.
Oh, Luna's already going down, but yeah, it's a series of unfortunate events.
I would want that called on us every time.
I don't.
And I would like that
this
called
call.
for us every time.
I don't like this
Mm-hmm.
call. I don't like the handball rule of this. Right? Like it probably touched Vera's back. Like you can see when they slow it down, it probably touched him just a touch. But Glad's arm is out, but he's not even looking for the ball.
Oh, I think
He's
he
not
is.
trying
I
to
think
make
he is.
himself bigger. He doesn't see the ball at all. Look where his eyes are when the ball hits him. He's not looking at the ball. He doesn't put his chicken wing out there to block it. He's shoving the other guy, and
Yeah,
the
we lost.
ball hits him.
A
And
good
so,
penalty
yeah,
too.
we lost. And according to the rule, that's the rule. And Cole Bassett did a good job of finishing off the penalty. Fair. He is the MVP of the Rocky Mountain Cup, Cole Bassett.
And you never want to lose, but I kind of was fine with RSL losing to Colorado. Because
What's wrong with you, Brant? What's wrong with
I
you? We
want-
just lost the Rocky Mountain Cup for the first time in a long time, and you're like, I'm cool with it.
I am.
What kind of
Because
fan are you?
I want this to be a rivalry. RSL doesn't have a rivalry.
They do now.
Oh, I thought it was KC.
That's
Yeah, we've been on
Those
that.
Honestly, it's
guys
just Russell.
those guys are all gone. All those players that hated KC. We don't have a natural rival, and this would be the closest thing to actually having a rival. It would be fun for the Rocky Mountain Cup to mean something to both teams all the time.
And then Remy Touchon makes him retake the goal kick because the ball wasn't stopped. And then they retake it, and then he blows the whistle for the end of the game. He's just doing stupid things like that that just piss you off. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what's even worse?
Remy Touchon, I just kind of want to headlock him and give him a noogie. You know, I don't want to beat him up or anything because I think he's a
Because that's violence.
decent
we don't
ref.
we don't
No,
like violence.
no, and I wouldn't insinuate any violence, but I'd like to build up some static electricity on my knuckles on his hair. Is that fair? That's not violent, right?
Come here, drag your feet across the rug, and then I'm going to touch you.
I'm coming.
Take that, Remy
Remy
Touchon.
Touchon, I'm running.
I'm coming. I'm
You're
coming.
checking your feet as you're running after him.
Run away.
Come here, we got some Shaq rug.
I know. Apple's bugging me though.
Oh,
I was literally losing my mind. So after.
I know the coverage is weird, right?
No. But it still says 2-1 as the final.
Final score.
Because I literally
On the
watched
website.
the last minutes or whatever, and I'm like, oh, 3-2, that sucks. All right, whatever. And then I take a nap or I fall asleep a little bit. I come back up and I was like, oh, I want to rewatch it, and it says 2-1, and I'm like, did I just imagine that?
Did something happen?
Dude, what's going on?
Am I in a vortex?
Yeah, I could have sworn, and then I was like, turned it on, and I was like, oh, okay.
It
it's
shows
just-
the final score is 2-1 on the website.
yeah.
And I saw, I think Vancouver, they were playing, I think they drew 3-3, and it says 4-3. And I couldn't find the other goal.
Wow,
So,
jeez.
come on, Apple. Come on.
Come on, man.
So,
Messi's out, so nobody's paying attention.
we had 3 games. We had, who was the first game? Portland, LAFC. and Colorado, a tough
Loss, draw, loss.
3-game road trip. And Brendan was saying if we won all 3, that we would be.
Taking the cup.
Yeah, we would.
And I agree with that. And 1 point out of those 3 games, I don't know that it is.
That's showing us as a team having the same issues as previous seasons.
Well, I think we're just in a funk. Every team goes through a funk. And now they've got a break. They got the League's Cup coming up August 1st at home against Atlas. And then August 5th, they go to Houston. So I think it's a good time to regroup. I think with the stuff that's going on with Chicho, the team's just kind of lost its mojo. And now is a good time to lick your wounds and get back to playing how we were playing as a team in the first part of the season. Every team goes through these, especially during the dog days of summer. So I'm not too worried about them, but I think they will turn it around. They've got some new blood coming in. We talked about the 2 new signings. And they've got an Australian, so he's going to be chipper. He's going to be excited.
Mate.
He's going to be positive all the time.
Yeah, mate.
And before you know it, they'll be dragging him to footy games.
Yep, we got to start talking like Bluey. I think that was the mojo that we got from Luna a couple weeks ago. Remember when he was doing the
Bluey.
the Bluey dance at the end? Yeah,
Absolutely. Need to get some more Bluey.
And instead of going through every single score from July 17th and July 20th, we'll just go to the standings and we'll
Let's
tell
do
you
that.
LA Galaxy are on top with 49 points, although
Dang
they
it.
have a lower points per game than the LAFCs, the fake clubs. They're 1.96 points per game, and LA Galaxy are 1.88, but they're 2 games behind. So LA Galaxy have played 26, LAFC have played 24, we've played 25, and the standings are 49 for the Galaxy, 47 for the FCs, and 44 for the Real Salt Lakes. But we're only 3 points ahead of Colorado now.
Oh,
But they've played one more game. So they're 41 and in 4th place right now. On the other side of the nation, of this great nation, Miami is in first with 53 points. Cincinnati dropped another game, so they dropped to
that's like 2 in a
48.
row.
And Columbus jumped up to 43 and into 3rd, followed by Red Bull of New York with 41.
And honestly, that's the only teams that are going to compete in the
top
playoffs.
4 in both sides.
Yeah.
But, they're bottom of the league right now. San Jose, 14 points on the season.
What's going on with that organization?
They are just a mess. They had a style and a way of playing, and all of their players were built around that style of play, and then they fired that coach and let him go, and now they just have a bunch of players that don't fit a system that they play. So
Yeah, they
it's
were
going to
playing-
take a long time for them to replace that.
they were
Either
playing
way.
the man-to-man, right?
Yeah.
You're just-
Yeah, that weird man-to-man thing that they were doing. So
All right, so.
they're in Tank City. The only team that's even close is St. Louis and Kansas City.
Haha, St. Louis.
Great place for them to be. So,
All right, time for the Come On Crawley update.
We lost.
Yeah, we did. 1-0. They won the first 2 preseason games.
But it's
they picked up
preseason.
some new players. Who knows who they are? But they have been signing
Nobody
players. They did pick up a nice goalie.
they're in
And,
League One.
That's so dumb.
Wait,
Why
they're in
did they
league-
get rid of him?
They're still in League One.
Crawley's in League One.
Yeah.
Crawley's in League One, guys.
Yeah, it's exciting.
And they might be on the fast track to League
League
2.
2. But we're going to enjoy every minute of being in League 1, see if we can stay up. So when we get closer, we'll break down. I know everyone's waiting with bated breath to find out who is going to be on the Crawley Town team to start League 1. So should be exciting. What about you guys? You following your team?
Wrexham. Wrexham did. They're in League One too.
Yeah, they're in League 1. I think they're doing all right.
I think you got to play Wrexham if you're in League
League
One,
One.
right? So
Yeah.
you play them twice, home and away again.
We're not scared. We're not scared. Bring it on.
No, the team last year wasn't scared. The team this year, we don't even know. Like,
We
there's-
don't know who's on that team, really.
I don't know a single player.
Jeremy
Wow.
Kelly.
They really let them all
They-
go.
They kept him.
Did Chip? No, they didn't. Oh,
they
I'm
got
thinking
Liam.
Liam Kelly. Liam Kelly. I saw him and I'm like, dude, that's the one. Like, I talked to the owner. Like, that's the one guy I said, like,
Don't
you
let him
it
go.
happen.
don't let him go,
No.
and he's gone.
Yeah. So we'll see. See how it all works out. Moneyball.
It so is. It's the Oakland A's over there.
Again.
Yeah, let's see if it works out.
Thanks for listening. Follow us on all the social medias. Subscribe to us on our YouTube and goals.tv channels. We appreciate it. And thanks for listening.
Give us some feedback, though.
Give us some feedback.
It's pretty dry out there.
No, just tell us how much you love us.
No, tell us you don't
Please.
like us. Like, give us some hard truths, okay?
Give us
So
a thumbs
I can
up
read
if
them
you
on
do
the
like
podcast.
us, and then and Brennan will read your
Bring up your own subject. You know, like, hey, how
Your
come the
angry
third guy
Reddits.
has hair, everybody else doesn't? Like, what's going on? You know, like,
Yeah, so much beard.
there is so much beard.
I mean, that's a great beard. I mean, I'm not.
Thank you. I'm trying to grow it out a little bit more.
Yeah,
Be a
looks
little bit
nice.
more stoic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let the
Trying to
gray
get-
come out.
Trying to get more authority before I open my mouth. You know what I mean?
Whatever that means. All right. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you later.
Later.